Okay, so you're in the middle of making a plushie, and you've just been sitting around outside using the blanket stitch. But then when you get to the top, you notice that you have pieces that are sticking out. Like in this case, I have 2 ears and I have this piece of ribbon. So a couple of people have been asking me how you sew the blanket stitch over these pieces. And the simple answer is that you don't really use the blanket stitch as such. You can see where my thread is here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here into just one layer, as you would normally do when you're doing the blanket stitch, right? Pull it tight and just sew it like this. And then you don't go over like you generally would, you actually go down into this ear. And to make sure it looks good on both sides, you don't necessarily have to put your needle in at a straight angle, okay? Just insert your needle, then sort of turn it around to the other side and push it out and just see where you think looks good. I think about there looks nice because that's right on top of this other stitch. Do you see that? So I'm just going to push my needle through here, right? And now I'm going to do basically the same thing. I'm going to stick my needle in here, but I'm going to put it in at an angle. So when I turn around, where do I want it to come out? I want it to come out around about here. So I'm just going to pull that through and then basically do the same again, but this time I'm going to put it in on the ear part. So I'm kind of sewing sort of like a fell stitch. See how that works? I'm just going to do a little bit in time lapse and I won't make it too fast, so hopefully you can understand. Okay, so now that I've gone all the way past the ear, you can see there's just one gap down here when I can just do one regular blanket stitch. And I would suggest that where possible you do use the blanket stitch because it makes it a little bit more secure. So see, I'm just going to do that and secure it twice. Then we have this ribbon here and I'm basically just going to do the same thing as I did with the ear. But because it's a lot smaller, we just need to do it once, like this. Okay, so as you can see we are out again, back into a space where I can do a regular blanket stitch, which is what I'm going to do. It's getting tangled on the tail. By the way, if you haven't seen this push tutorial, I do have a tutorial for it up, which I am currently in the middle of making. But I think that this video is going to go up first, I don't really know. But yeah, if you haven't seen the tutorial for this Pikachu, there will be a link in the description. So yeah, that is basically how you sew a blanket stitch over sticking out pieces like the ears and ribbon. Basically, you just don't really sew a blanket stitch, just sew a stitch in. And remember, you don't actually have to put your needle straight through at a straight angle. It can be however you like because you're trying to make it look good on both sides. So yeah, thank you for watching. Bye guys.